know what Sony had? The Holy Trinity. Leo, Brad, and Margot. Who do you have?
Welcome to Boy Party, the podcast about movies where two major stars share the screen and battle it out on the racetrack for screen time, top billing, the fatter paycheck, and the most acclaim. My name is Lucy Daly, and I'm joined as always by the Ford to my Ferrari. It's Shane Kelly. And joining us for the first time on the show, music producer and producer of the No Encore podcast, Adam Shanahan is here.
Hello. It's great to be here.
Welcome, Adam. You've been very kind before having us as a guest on No Encore along with Dave, so we wanted to have you on Boy Party to talk about one of your great loves, motorsports. In the context of the film we're discussing today. But you are a very talented music producer. Can you give us a sense of what your most recent releases have been?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, both, for having me. It's great to be here, and it's great to the shoe is very much on the other foot because you've been on with me twice, and I haven't. Yeah. This is my first appearance here on Boy Party. And,
your first visit to Boy Party HQ.
First visit to Boy Party HQ.
We gave you your ID on the way in.
Yeah, chuffed to be here. I guess new releases, like I've been doing a few bits on the music side of things at the minute. I recently had an EP come out with an artist who I've been working with called Kaylee Noble. She's put together this kind of mixtape thing. It's very in the hyperpop, electronic, very nostalgic of 90s dance world. So that's a lot of fun. She had a headline show recently, went to see it. It was an amazing live show. So it's built for that kind of club environment. Really, really cool. So check that out if that's something you'd be interested in. I'm also working on a second record with Melina Malone, who's a neo soul artist. She's amazing. If you aren't familiar, you can check out her performance in the Tommy Tiernan show, which was just spectacular.
Yeah.
I'm very biased, but it was very good.
Great.
So check that out. We're finishing off her second record. Recently, an album, myself and my co-producer David Tapley of Tandem Felix. We worked on a record together with a band called Cable Boy, and they released their album in April. So that's been kind of doing really good bits for them.
And I got to see them at the Catherine Connolly gig with
of course,
you there
yes, which
in October,
we ran
and they
into
were
each
so
other.
good at that. They were really, really great live.
That was a great show. That was a really, really good night.
Performance. Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed that. Yeah, but that's kind of me for the minute. Tipping away on a couple of other bits. I'm working in the background to try and do a bit more things outside of Ireland. But that has been thus far unfruitful.
Yes, and every 2 weeks you've got an album club episode on the No Encore Patreon,
yes,
where you'd pick an album and discuss it. And the new episode out today by a band I've never heard of. Is it a Danish artist?
Danish band, yeah, a band called Spleen United. So as of us recording this podcast, I put out that album club. I went to a festival in Denmark. My friend lives there. He lives in the second biggest city, Aarhus.
I've been. It's a beautiful city.
It's a beautiful city. It's amazing.
It's way better than Copenhagen.
It's so nice. I like any excuse to go back. Like, I love going there, and the fact that I have a friend who I've known since I was like 5.
Yeah.
He's been living over there for about a decade now. So I've always threatened to go over to this festival. He talks about it every year, and I've always managed to miss it somehow. And this year I was like, January, booking the tickets, I'm going.
Yeah.
So I went. I kind of had no idea about anybody who was really there.
Yeah.
And Spleen United were one of those ones on the first night. They were the kind of headliner on the main outdoor stage. There's like fucking 150 acts, 30 venues. Like this, it's a 2-day festival. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All Nordic acts as well, by the way. So I didn't really have an idea going in as to who was going to be there. Spleen United were there. We went on a recommendation of one of my friend Owen's housemates. And they were like, oh, these guys are pretty good. They're pretty big in Denmark, and they've been around for a long time. And yeah, so that was brilliant. Went to that, and I was like a fucking jolt of electricity down my spine. I was like, yes, where's this been all my life? Yeah. So I did their second album, Neanderthal, and like you say, I do it every 2 weeks. I pick either it initially started as albums from my record collection, because I collect vinyl records, and I'm now on episode, that's the 46th episode I've done on it. But I've also done an episode on the kind of documentary style on me going to that Danish festival. So that's on Patreon as well. And that's patreon.com/No Encore if you'd like to check that out. Your former guest and my colleague of No Encore, Dave, also alternates with me into his film club. So that might be more in the wheelhouse of what people who listen to this podcast.
You can hear myself on the Mrs. Doubtfire film club talking about Mrs. Doubtfire with Adam and Dave and Andy McCarroll, which is a lot of fun. So if you check out the No Encore Patreon, you have that to look forward to as well. But when you're not posting about music on your social media, you're posting about fast cars going vroom vroom vroom.
Yeah, to the chagrin of all my followers.
Yeah, and I'll be straight up. I don't give a shit about Formula One.
A lot of people don't.
But I'm interested to have you here to do the overlap between motor racing and film.
Yes,
because movies about fast cars are sometimes a thing I dread because I know that I'm not really invested in the stakes of motor racing, and I think that Ford v Ferrari is the best possible version of this, and the one where I get the most invested in the excitement of the racing.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because this movie's set in the 1960s, so it's like races that happened a long time ago. It doesn't necessarily feel urgent and of the moment, but for me it's way more involving than some of the recent stuff there's been, particularly last year's F1. We can get to that in a minute, but
we'll talk about it.
You're very into F1. I'm not at all. Shane's probably somewhere a little bit in the middle because you just kind of like all sports in general.
I just kind of consume it by proximity, but I can't say I care for it.
I've never seen you sit down and watch it, but
no.
I mean, it's hard to relate to a sport that caters exclusively to the ultra wealthy. And is literally laden with some of the worst corporate sponsorship you could possibly ever imagine. So like I find it it's a real battle in my head when I see all of these like horrendous companies that are sponsoring all of these things, and it's like that are doing just innate damage to the world and culture, and I'm like, yes, I actually really like this. And the lefty in my head is like, what are you doing, man?
Are we at a point now, though, with the World Cup happening, where soccer's just as bad as F1?
Oh, soccer's been as bad for a while.
In a certain sense, but like Cabo Verde don't have a Formula 1 team.
Yeah, okay.
That is true. Yes.
Which I think
fair.
There are good news stories more often, and
there's underdogs. There's no underdogs in F1. Yeah,
there is and there isn't. It's a funny one, but I mean, again, everyone's got like a fucking budget cap of like hundreds of millions every year.
The movie F1 constructs an underdog in the form of this Javier Bardem owned team that are seemingly like struggling, and they haven't been good in a while, and he's on the verge of bankruptcy, and he needs this one Hail Mary with Brad Pitt to save his team. That, I assume, is not a narrative that necessarily exists in reality, where there's like a real underdog trailing behind, or is there?
In the current season, actually, there's a brand new team on the grid who've like just come in. So it's been 10 teams for the longest time. Over the course of like decades, teams have come and gone. Either been bought, sold, gone into administration, filed for bankruptcy, changed hands, whatever. There's a brand new team this year in the form of Cadillac, the first American team since Haas joined in 2015. So it's been 11 years, and there's derogation for 12 teams, but at the moment the kind of criteria to get in is so strict, and they're also like really precious about, because essentially at the end of the year the pie gets split with so many people, with the exception of Ferrari, which we'll talk about that, because they have like a legacy interest in the business, so they get a significant amount more than everybody else does. But they would be the underdog this year because they're coming in fresh, but they're coming in with two really experienced drivers. There's a lot of goodwill for them out there, and like it is a good news story that they're on the thing, but also it cannot be underestimated how much money these companies have to throw at it. Like, you hear the term Cadillac alone,
I know
it's American capitalism writ large, you know what I mean? So while there are underdog stories, there aren't really. Like, go back to maybe the 1980s, you're talking about like Ayrton Senna, who would have been a real underdog in the day because he had no budget behind him, and he is now greatest in the world status. Lewis Hamilton, same kind of story, kind of rags to riches in terms of like, you know, coming from nothing really, working class background, and all of a sudden he's the most successful driver in the history of Formula 1. He's an 8-time world champion, so you know it's or 7-time world champion, should I say, and now is kind of in the hunt for his 8th as well in the next couple of years. I would say this year might just be a bit beyond the pale, but yeah, there are underdog stories, but again, it's like it's cloaked in that I guess the
brand
atmosphere
first.
of brand first, of like just insane capitalistic overtures, and like that bothers me a little bit. So I am kind of like Shane said with Cabo Verde in the World Cup. First of all, I got them in a sweepstakes, so I'm absolutely delighted. But second of all, there is like, again, that underdog thing where it's a true underdog thing. It's like, we've never even heard of this team before. Who are these people? And it's brilliant in that regard. So
I try to think of the avenues sometimes into getting into Formula 1, and I'm kind of surprised that it has become more popular in the last couple of years as it has, because like there's not
it's gotten
There's
really
not the
big.
kind of universal feel-good stories
No.
out of it that would attract the passive viewer to being
It seems
like,
to
this
have
might...
increased its female fan base
Yeah.
exponentially in the last
yeah.
5 years.
So now, according to the stats that are issued by Liberty Media, who are the now owners of the Formula One
yeah.
brand, it was sold by Bernie Ecclestone. I can't remember when it was, 2017 or 18 maybe, amid his fucking unbelievable tax dodging court scandal. Like,
Yeah.
look at if anyone is unfamiliar with the history of Formula One, please look at it, because it's just full of corrupt, like, megalomaniacs.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely worth your time alone just to check that out. But Bernie Ecclestone sold it to Liberty Media.
Okay.
Liberty Media then, like, this is when the Netflixification of the sport started.
Yeah.
This is when Drive to Survive started. This is the beginning of the kind of now modern culture of all of these sports documentaries, right? And I do think there's probably a knock-on effect into the film world as a result of this, because now we have Drive to Survive every year, which is like, I think, probably one of the biggest and most popular sports documentary series. Like, I know that's a fucking...
Sure.
It's a reach, but
it's enormous, yeah.
But it is absolutely huge, and thus, like Lucian said there, I suppose the audience has gotten significantly younger, and significantly more diverse, because of the access. Because this was like a real sport of snooty gatekeepers for the longest time, and they're still around.
Who
of
have
course.
to have the money to fly to see it in Monaco or
I mean,
wherever.
Jesus Christ, like, God forbid.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to experience that, but I also would like to afford other things in my life.
I'm thinking even in Iron Man 2, there's a bit where Tony Stark has a car in Monaco Grand Prix,
the Grand Prix
just to show
story,
how wealthy he is, and he runs into Elon Musk at the game. Playing himself.
Just fucking insane.
That's what it represented in 2010. You know?
Yeah. Well, again, it's like that does actually happen. That represented a real event called the Grand Prix d'Historique, and there's one that happens in France. There's one that happens in Monaco then as well. So there's one in Paul Ricard and there's one in Monaco.
Okay.
I don't know if they alternate or not. I'm not too familiar, but there are like historical things like that.
And what about the Le Mans race in this film? Is that a thing that still exists?
Yes, it is. Actually, it's timely enough that we're recording this podcast, because 2 weeks ago, this year's just happened.
Okay.
And spoiler alert, Ferrari won.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah, there was like Ferrari have a couple of teams in it, but basically it's like endurance racing is a completely different sport to Formula One. So this is what we're talking about in this movie. Endurance racing is exactly what it says in the tin. And generally, if you hear 24 hours of, it's a 24-hour race. Now, pit stops are allowed, driver changes are allowed.
Yes.
We see that in the film.
And I was learning the rules of this for the first time as it was playing out in the film.
It is like, I found myself kind of gravitating a little bit more. I suppose it's just a motorsport adjacent thing really for me, and just enjoying that. But I found myself last year in particular, I didn't get to watch it this year unfortunately, but I did tap in last year to the 24 hours of Le Mans.
Right.
And then there's also other, like, endurance racing kind of goes all over the globe. So there's a couple of ones in America, like the 24 hours of Indianapolis, I think might be one. And there's a few different ones that kind of happen all over the globe, but that is primarily what we're focused on here.
Okay. You're talking about brand first. This movie's got two brands in the name, at least in the American name, Ford v Ferrari. I think it's a great title. Although when I see a movie called Something versus Something and there's two guys on the poster, my brain assumes one of them is Ford and one of them is Ferrari. And it is incredibly weird for me that this movie is actually just about Ford and Ferrari exists in the background as the bad guy. It should almost be called like Ford Rules,
It's
Ferrari
kind of a
Rules.
testament to the Ferrari brand that you can put it in the title of your film without it being really a major player in it.
No, and it doesn't make Ferrari into a hero or a positive thing. Like Ferrari are
Not
kind
at
of
all.
like
They're
Italian assholes.
It is literally like the kind of, you know, the westernification of it all, where it's like, it's kind of World War II-esque if you take it into account.
It's also kind of Devil Wears Prada in the title, where there's not much Prada in
exactly. But
in the film.
It's called Ford v Ferrari in America, and in Europe and in Ireland, it's called Le Mans 66.
Le Mans
and
66,
there's never been confirmation of why the name was changed. And when they asked the director, he says, oh, it's because people in the UK are more familiar with Le Mans 66 than people in the US. Bullshit. Ford v Ferrari is a way better title.
It's a way better title. It's going to put more bums on seats, regardless of where you are, because like, everyone knows what a Ford is. Everyone knows what a Ferrari is.
I did not know what Le Mans 66 was when the movie came out. So I think that they probably had to change it for some weird Ferrari legal reason, where maybe Ferrari could only stop them putting the name in the title in Europe, and they couldn't do it in America. I don't know. But
it wasn't just an insistence by the director that, like, I don't want this to sound like King Kong versus Godzilla, like, just...
Well, then it wouldn't have been called that anywhere, you know?
Yeah, I suppose.
I think... And I know a few people who refer to this movie as Le Mans 66, and those people are the same people who call Twitter X, so...
Yeah, well, I think, that says as much as I need to know.
It's
a funny one. Like, going back to the kind of, the World War II almost like
Yeah.
Allies versus Axis.
Yes.
Of it all. Like Ferrari are painted terribly in this film.
Yeah.
And I think it's just really, really funny that first of all, Ferrari allowed this to happen. I'd say there was some amount of creative control that was afforded to the Ferrari family, because one of his sons, Enzo Ferrari's sons, I think is still a majority shareholder, Piero.
Okay, yeah.
Who features actually in the Ferrari movie.
Yeah, did you like the Ferrari?
No, I hated
thought it was dreadful.
I thought
it's
it
so
was
bad.
I thought it was borderline racist.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Because again, the accents are terrible. Like I would have loved to have seen that film if it was Italian actors speaking Italian.
Yeah.
Like, give me that. I think that's way more genuine.
That film also struggles from budget constraints. I think it was made on the cheap. They had to cobble together funding from loads of different sources, and you can tell they weren't able to do the scale that this movie has of like really, really high quality racing scenes.
Yeah, I really didn't think Adam Driver was up to it.
He's bad casting, but that's interesting because Michael Mann was attached to this movie for years.
Yes, he was,
and he has a producer credit on it.
Yeah, he does have a producer credit.
It's like his only Oscar nomination, I think, is for producing this movie.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and he then does Ferrari kind of on the cheap a couple years later. I think Hugh Jackman was his first choice to play Enzo Ferrari. That's probably even worse than Adam Driver.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going with that.
Yeah,
respectfully.
And he ends up with Adam Driver, who I guess looks kind of Italian. Like if you have to pick an American star to do an Italian accent,
and he's just coming off House of Gucci.
He's coming off House of Gucci. So the face,
so yeah, he's primed and ready.
I love Adam Driver.
Leto, I suppose.
He's not good. Ironically, Matt Damon and Adam Driver. The last time we discussed Matt Damon on this show, Matt Damon and Adam Driver both play French medieval knights in The Last Duel together, a movie shot in Ireland. So Adam Driver has done the full run of European accents at this point. So I hope his French or his German role is coming soon. But Ford v Ferrari, yes, it's all about Ford. Ferrari are these kind of buffoonish Italian bureaucrats in the background.
Yeah, you could have literally called this Ford. You know, realistically, you could have called it Ford.
But it's not about the history of the Ford Corporation
No,
either.
it's not at all. It's not at all.
Henry Ford, and is this Henry Ford Jr. that Tracy Letts plays?
Henry Ford the second.
Yeah. So he is effectively the financier of the scheme, and Matt Damon and Christian Bale are the men on the ground making this happen, and they just have to keep going back to Tracy Letts for cash, basically. And Josh Lucas is kind of standing in their way, who is the senior executive vice president of Ford, Leo Beebe, and he's a real stick-in-the-mud company man who just wants to play by the rules.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, and he's trying to stop Tracy Letts from giving them money to go crazy and do all this motor racing stuff.
Yeah. This film is structurally identical to Air.
Yes, it is.
In that,
you seen Air?
I have. It's
Air's great fun. Yeah,
it's so much fun.
It's a large brand who are struggling in the retail sector with their consumers, so they decide to go completely high end to boost the brand.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what happens here as well.
Yeah.
Scrappy underdogs Nike, scrappy underdogs Ford.
Yes.
Succeed.
It's good.
Like, great. Sure.
It's good, but because it pairs.
It's funny to manufacture a narrative that they're kind of like
that they're
actual underdogs.
Down on their luck. Like,
it's so funny.
Like the fucking biggest automotive factory in the world. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think what helps the film feel, what helps someone like me engage with it is that they pair up this American cowboy hat wearing Matt Damon character, Carroll Shelby, with this like skinny, weird English guy who's their, star driver, Ken Miles. And I'm instantly like, this guy feels like someone I should be rooting for.
Yeah.
He is not the typical Formula One driver I'm familiar with. He's not Brad Pitt. He's not this big, strong, tough, beautiful movie star. He's kind of weird and standoffish and socially inept in a way where I'm like, I really, really want this particular guy to do well. And then for me, the whole movie kind of like circulates around me rooting for Christian Bale and that character and that performance.
It's funny that happens, isn't it? Because first of all, it's funny you mentioned that he's not a typical Formula One driver because actually he did race in Formula One, Ken Miles. Carroll Shelby actually did have a couple of starts.
Let me look up photos of the real guy.
So,
did he look like Christian Bale?
He
looks like Christopher Eccleston. He actually looks even less.
He's more wiry.
He's got funny teeth and a big chain.
Yeah, like it's like stereotypical 1960s British racing car driver. It is essentially what Ken Miles looks like. But yeah, it's funny that you mention the kind of that you end up rooting for him because I find that the balance in this is I think this is down to a combination of how the character is written versus their real life thing, but also Christian Bale just doing an amazing job.
Yeah,
is how like Ken Miles is like an arsehole when he wants to be in this movie, but you still find yourself being like feeling sorry for him, and you still find yourself, gravitating towards him as a character and wanting to see him do well. And in particular, not to jump ahead, but like in particular when he's left on the sidelines in a certain part of the movie, you do feel bad about that. He's pissing off the top brass as well. So like, you know what I mean? It's a funny one. He
feels a little bit doomed from the start, and you know, spoiler alert, his character dies at the end. He dies a significant period of time after the Le Mans race.
6 months.
Yeah, they cut
not even 6 months.
Not even, so it's very soon after. They cut forward.
It was August.
2 months later.
Happens in May, I guess.
Yeah,
and he just kind of dies on a random Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah, he was testing a car, the car that was due to be the successor of the car that he built. That was like a triple crown winning. I say triple crown. It was a triple race winning, Le Mans race winning.
And it's
car.
such a sad ending because you're like, he just had this incredible triumph, and then his life's like a few more months, and then that's it.
You just feel like he's built for so much more. Like thinking about the character and thinking about the actual, the real Ken Miles, the racing driver, especially like seeing the trajectory that, because like back then, and it happens now a little bit as well, but racing drivers, they tend to jump through series a lot.
Yes.
Depending on when they're like, obviously there's only 22 seats in Formula One, and they're like gold dust, you know, and it's the best of the best of the best. Well, I say that, but you know, that's the perception anyway. And then there's like endurance racing, where a lot of Formula One drivers will go after they finish in Formula One, whether they retire or whether they lose their seat, or there's like loads of different other series. But like even in like Bruce McLaren, who is one of his Ken Miles' teammates in this, is like the founder of the McLaren racing team. So like that's also, and he is racing in Le Mans as well. He was a Formula One driver as well, I believe, former world champion. Then there's like John Surtees as well, who's like in the I don't know if he's in the team,
right?
But he's like adjacent anyway somewhere, and he is a former world champion as well.
Okay.
So like again, people jumping around all the time. So I wonder if he didn't die in that tragic crash, what would we have then gotten? But this was par for the course back then. Like safety standards were nowhere near what we have now. Like almost most race weekends in Formula One, you were probably due to see some kind of serious injury, if not a death on the track.
Crazy, yeah. I know in F1 there is a serious injury for the Damson Idris character about halfway through, just to create a sense of life or death stakes.
There is and there isn't, because he's like fine in the next scene, and like Formula One would not allow their brand to be
not
used
a chance
and let someone die.
They let it go as far as they're willing to let it go.
Yeah, which is an extreme crash, but look, this extreme thing can happen, and he's still fine.
It's just a scratch, you know.
It's necessary dramatically, I think, but it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
I will say actually it's not kind of off the beaten track for that, because a couple of years ago there was a driver racing for Alfa Romeo. His name is Zhou Guanyu, and at the first corner of Silverstone, he flipped his car in the race, skidded like 100 meters on the halo, which is like this new titanium thing to like protect the driver from exactly something like this happening. Skidded, flipped into the barrier, was hanging upside down.
Oh my god.
For like several minutes. Like the broadcast cut away completely because it was like, what the fuck? Like this guy could be really hurt. Not a scratch.
Wow.
So like, you know,
there you go.
Formula One do pride themselves in their safety standards, but my God, were they severely lacking when this movie was set. And like, I can only imagine as well, like the tracks weren't up to scratch at all. Back in the day, Le Mans in particular, a lot, like some of it was dirt roads.
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
Like,
in the film Ferrari, there is a decapitation of children at the end that happens, which
that
is real.
That happened in real life.
So upsetting. Yeah. I feel like what part of what I find so exciting about this movie though is the tactile slight lack of sheen, lack of health and safety. Like when you're in the cars and when you're watching them on the roads, it feels as though bits could go flying off at any second, and the machinery is really old. And I love when Christian Bale can't get the door to close. And he's slamming the door and it won't shut. And I'm like, this actually reminds me, because like ultimately my favorite car movie ever is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which I've loved my whole life. And that is a film where everything's constantly fucking breaking and there's steam coming out of nozzles and it's all like crazy, you know, old factory stuff. So when I see bits of like broken 1960s machinery, I'm like, oh yeah, this feels like real danger here. Whereas a movie like F1, it lacks any of that. Like,
no, it's so squeaky clean
stuff. Yeah, it's too squeaky clean.
And see, the thing is, if you know, a better movie of that is the one that would be the unlicensed version, where like we had carte blanche to actually like do all of that kind of stuff, because like shit happens in the sport. But like this is great. This is, I think, and this is going back to what you said, you know, this is probably your favorite example of the best quote unquote example of motorsport in film. I do agree with that.
It does the best job, for at least, of communicating the excitement to someone who can't really get invested in the drivers and the teams and the politics
without
of it.
giving you like do you know what I fucking hate as well? Like, and I hate this in like most films, is the over exposition of shit.
Yeah.
For like the cheap seats essentially. Where it's like, and they do. Oh Jesus
F1
Christ!
with the narration.
the commentator. They have the commentator there. Yeah.
And the car is going fast.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
going
yeah.
very fast.
He's going to have to do this thing that's
Yeah.
going to happen in the next.
Bad writing. It's really bad writing.
This is an unusual case of a race, though, where you're not really racing against anyone else.
I guess not.
Because it doesn't come down to this kind of finish line.
The jeopardy is much lower. Yes.
Yeah.
There's not this 1v1 battle really for a lot of it, because it is going on for so long and it's kind of an endurance thing.
The gaps become much wider.
Yeah.
So it is it's the
It's a
battle of your
against
own
weather
engineering.
and tiredness.
Yeah, there's a couple of instances with pushing the car against the Ferrari guy or whatever, but
Yeah.
I think it doesn't have the direct rivalry that some other sports
fair.
do, and down to one instance. So
Yeah.
Maybe that probably plays into the fact that it is more enjoyable as a motorsport movie, and it is more enjoyable.
Yeah, I think-
and does a better job.
It's also operating as a Ken Miles biopic. Like, it really is.
Yeah.
It feels like they've snuck in a film about this one interesting guy into a film that has a broader premise. But like the Matt Damon character, I mean, I didn't find him to be particularly three-dimensional, this guy, Carroll Shelby.
I don't think he's three-dimensional,
He's fine.
but I also don't think
He doesn't need to be.
I don't think he needs to
No,
be. But
Matt Damon's good enough as just a solid presence in the movie.
I think he
doesn't
does.
need
I
to
think he
have-
does a great job.
He always does a great job, and I don't think he needs to have much more going on, because Bale is bringing all the personality to the movie, and we get to see Ken Miles' home life, and you've got Katrina Balfe as his wife. Katrina Balfe, very nice lady, met her at the IFTAs. This is one of the only
Irish actor.
Irish
well.
actor,
Yeah.
one of the only movies she's ever been in, and I remember there being a brief moment of like, she's a movie star now, and then it never really happened again. She's in Belfast as the mother of the Kenneth Branagh. But
yeah, any film that has kind of a competition element in it is only as strong as the character.
yeah, so having it be
Portrayals.
about this guy's life and his character and
Yeah.
his like kind of not following the rules way of doing things.
The sports needs to be a demonstration of some other personality trait that the person has.
Yeah.
rather than
100%.
being like the
Whereas the character that Pitt plays in F1 is so flat and just like
they're like, no, the spectacle is the race.
They
like,
think that Brad Pitt walking on screen brings with him enough personality that you don't have to write an actual character. But that's just not true.
Do you know what's funny as well?
Yeah.
So originally Brad Pitt was meant to be in this movie.
With Tom Cruise.
Yes.
I don't know who's in which role there. That neither of those make sense.
No, I guarantee you, Tom Cruise is Ken Miles.
Tom Cruise is
he
Ken
has to be.
Miles.
Like, it's got to be.
That's crazy.
It's got to
though.
be. Purely if I'm just like to put all four of them beside each other.
Yeah.
I'm pairing Cruise and Christian Bale. And I'm pairing Brad Pitt.
I guess.
Because I do think
Maybe-
I don't think Tom Cruise has it in him, and also
Yeah.
he has to be the hero in every movie that
If
he's
you
in.
had Tom Cruise as Carroll Shelby and you had
Brad Pitt as Ken Miles.
and you had Christian Bale as Ken Miles, that could be a really good movie.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I would pick Matt Damon. I think I would pick Matt Damon, and like I'm not a massive Matt Damon fan. I actually think this is one of the roles that I like him much better in than most of the stuff that I've seen of him.
Yeah.
Again, not a film buff. I will say this at the top. So I haven't seen his entire filmography.
Yeah,
This is a good time to-
He's good at facilitating people who are a bit more nuts than he is.
This is a good time to note that Matt Damon is officially the most discussed actor ever on Boy Party as of this episode. Four episodes now talking about Matt Damon movies.
Okay. See the first four?
First four-timer.
First-four-timer.
So we love Matt Damon here on the podcast. I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
But he happens to just be in a lot of stuff that
Loves a boy party.
fits our premise.
Yeah.
And we're going to probably be talking about him again in a few weeks when he's the star of The Odyssey, which is the biggest movie of the year, where he's, of course, playing an ancient Greek warrior, Odysseus, the role Matt Damon was born to play.
Yeah, give me Christopher Nolan any day of the week.
Yeah.
I'm
But
really looking forward to
Have
that.
you seen Days of Thunder?
No, I haven't
'cause
actually.
That's Cruise doing motor
It's
racing.
cruising in a NASCAR. Yeah.
Days of Thunder is very like localized. I mean, Days of Thunder is like a non-comedic version of Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
It hits all those notes, and you got Robert Duvall in there as the like surly, coach or whatever, the guy who runs the team, and Nicole Kidman is the love interest. It's okay, but like they may very well now try and do a Days of Thunder legacy sequel. Although I wonder
I really
conceived
fucking
as
hope
one?
they don't. You see, this is the thing, right? Because like nowadays with the popularity rising in Formula One, like that's massively eclipsed NASCAR as popular on the worldwide stage.
Yeah.
In local American stuff, I don't know so much, but IndyCar is kind of like the Formula One in the States.
yeah.
It's like their version of the series, and it's similar enough, but again, it's like also kind of boring. Because there's a lot of oval racing, which to me just like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? We're just following each other and trying to be fast. And like, it's not like, to me, Formula One is more about, of course, the engineering thing filters into IndyCar. Yeah. But like, it's the engineering coupled with the skill of the drivers on very demanding tracks.
Yeah.
Coupled with like trying to manage your car, trying to manage like tires, all this kind of stuff. And like, IndyCar just doesn't have any of that for me. Although Michael Schumacher's son is an IndyCar at the minute.
Really? Okay.
He formerly of Formula One.
Yeah.
But he lost his seat because he crashed way too many times.
Oh, Jesus. Well, speaking of sons, Henry Ford's son was not pleased with the portrayal of his father. In a tweet on the trailer for the film, also he didn't even watch the film when he said
Henry
this.
Ford II son.
Yeah. He said, based on this trailer, I think I might miss opening night. I knew Henry Ford II, and Tracy Letts is no Henry Ford II.
My dad never sat on his own balls.
Yeah, Tracy Letts is Henry Ford II in this movie. It's the best performance in the film.
It's fantastic.
Tracy Letts has a special place in my heart because now he's become just like a podcast guy who just does all these movie podcasts, and it's just like a really fun and like well educated guy about movie history. But he's so good in this. He does this one scene where he's like, what's his big roaring at the guys in the office scene?
Ruminate.
Yeah, he's like, ruminate.
I want you to ruminate.
I want you to ruminate.
Everybody walk home.
Yeah.
He basically, so like for a bit of context, it's in Detroit, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So like in the big fucking Ford city that they've built, that is essentially like the biggest motor factory ever.
Yeah.
And he walks in, and essentially I think the whole premise of it is we're not as popular as a fucking Chevrolet or something like that. I can't remember what it is.
I think Chevrolet is the competitor.
Yeah, Chevy Lavelle or something. Yeah, I can't remember what it is. Chevy Impala maybe. Getting it in the tailpipe from a Chevy, from a Chevy Impala or something, and then like that strikes a chord with the staff on the ground. They start giggling or whatever, and basically he's like, my father came up with his best idea, like the idea for this company when he was walking, and he said he decided to ruminate on something, and like so he stops the presses, like quite literally tells him to shut the fucking production line down, says, I want you all to walk home and ruminate, and those of you who aren't essentially brave enough to come up with an idea, stay at home, you don't work at Ford anymore. Which I love that. The monologue is brilliant.
It's great.
And then there's also another one which I think you're referring to, where he's in the office with the suits.
Okay, yeah.
Carroll Shelby is in there essentially being like, I need you to fucking give me some leeway here, because I can't, I need to run a racing team as a racing team owner, not as a proxy for the higher ups to do it for me. And the thing was like, basically, he said it's something about hunting, I think that was the thing. I can't remember the exact quote. And he's like, or sorry, it was war actually. It was about World War II. The analogy was very fucking long-winded anyway. And he's like, Carol, go to war. So basically, like, you have the blank check.
And the scene where Damon takes him out in the car and it's going 100 miles an hour, and you just see his face flapping around.
It's amazing.
And then he just bursts into tears when the car stops. He's so brilliant there.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell if he's like terrified or he's delighted.
Both.
Because
I think he doesn't
he's
know.
pretty happy about it.
It's just like, he's completely overwhelmed with emotion, and he gives like again, you can't
he's
tell.
Crying, and he says, I didn't know it was like this. I didn't know they went this fast.
He also says, I wish my dad was around to see this. And I love that, because it's like a real testament to what Carroll Shelby has done. Look, I mean, I think this is all fucking work of fiction. Like this particular part. And certain things obviously have been fictionalized within the story as well. But I do love it as a way to kind of give him a bit of a human element as well, because like he's kind of just this really horrible CEO character through the longest
If you want to see Tracy Letts shouting at Christian Bale, you can also check out The Big Short, where the same thing happens. He's the guy that Christian Bale
fighting about money.
And he comes in and he's like, give me back my money. I know you're a big fan of The Big Short.
Yeah, I love it.
A world you used to operate in as well.
One of my favorite movies ever.
We rewatched it the other day. I hadn't seen it since it came out. I can't say I'm really a fan of its particular way of editing in.
Adam McKay is
it kind of does my head in.
Yeah, he is an acquired taste.
I think Adam McKay has too good politics to make a watchable movie. He is so angry, and he has so much passion about these guys are fucking ruined America, that I think it actually gets in the way of making the film like entertaining and accessible to a mainstream audience.
I also don't know if it's see, this is the thing about The Big Short. I don't know if it's meant to be entertaining or accessible.
It's just meant to get you worked up.
I think
and
it's
pissed off.
I think it's meant to make people pissed off. I think it's meant to fucking scare people.
Yeah.
and I do think it's like anti-capitalist propaganda.
It is.
Like,
It's very anti-capitalist, which I totally endorse. I just cannot get engaged in it because I never know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's so jargon heavy in a way that like
That's the thing. It's they're trying to explain to you with kind of simple metaphors and stuff.
not simple.
But it doesn't work at all. Like
No, it
somebody
doesn't
that
work
doesn't
at
know
all.
what's going on won't know what's going on, despite
Crazy.
it being entirely built to explain to you what is going on.
Yeah. And I actually found again, for context, I used to work in that field. I worked in banking for 10 years, and I was in markets, and debt markets were something that I was in.
Right.
So I have a lot of exposure to like the products that they're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, which I cannot believe are still in circulation. But anyway, they, we actually have regulation now, which is nice.
Well, him and Bale get back to Adam McKay and Bale a few years after that make another angry political movie, which is Vice, where Bale plays Dick Cheney.
Yeah, and I don't hate it.
Vice, oh god, Vice is, I can't get through it. Like I
don't hate
really, I really don't like it either. So clearly, his particular style is working on you,
Listen, I'm an easy sell.
and I'm happy for you. And
I
clearly-
like The Big Short a lot, and I think Vice sucks. So
Vice
there's
is so
some
bad.
There's balance in the room.
Oh, Vice,
yeah.
Vice sucks, and I say that as someone who celebrated when Dick Cheney died for real. But Vice, the problem with Vice is that Jesse Plemons is narrating Vice, and he talks at this pace. It's almost as if The Big Short moved too quickly for people. So for Vice, they slowed it way down.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it
the
drives me nuts.
content and theme of Vice is not any less interesting than like the financial crisis of 2008. So like it should, in theory, I should in theory find it as enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it's
No.
I find everything insanely grating in it.
Yeah. But if I'm comparing Christian Bale performances, I like him way better in The Big Short, in Ford v Ferrari, when he's playing these wiry, spindly guys.
Yeah, kind of characters who are like a little bit in their own world.
Yeah,
like,
rather than when he's like the big fucking shouty guy like he is in Vice, which I think is an awful performance. I much prefer him when he's doing, I think, what he's like in real life a little bit, which is this kind of weird English guy with like a twitchy neck. And his Oscar-winning performance in The Fighter is a little bit like that, but it's like a Boston version of that, where he's like the drug-addicted trainer brother of the Mark Wahlberg boxer character. Christian Bale recently played Frankenstein in The Bride with Jessie Buckley, which is a performance I really liked, where he plays Frankenstein who is sad because he has no girlfriend, and he goes to the cinema and watches musicals, and then he begs a scientist to build him a girlfriend. And Annette Bening is the scientist, and she gets Jessie Buckley's corpse and she brings her to life so that he has a girlfriend, so that he's not sad anymore.
That's amazing.
And he's like so excited to have a girlfriend now that he's like, come on, we're gonna go on the run and we're gonna do all these crimes and rob banks and stuff. I thought The Bride was great fun.
It's exactly what you want a girlfriend for. Really,
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. But he, like, Christian Bale as fucking like sad, horny Frankenstein is an amazing piece of casting. He's so good in that. And he's got all these like nails coming out of his face and stuff, and you're like, I want Christian Bale to always have nails and stuff coming out of his face.
The press junkets for that were star-studded.
They were. That film is a great cast. Penelope Cruz and Jake Gyllenhaal are in it as well. Like, the next thing Christian Bale is going to be in is he's in a biopic of John Madden coming out later this year, where Nicolas Cage plays John Madden, the famous NFL coach.
Yeah, I don't have much knowledge of that.
Bale is playing someone
period.
called Al Davis in a supporting role.
Al Davis is still currently the owner of the
There you
Las
go.
Vegas Raiders, and he is one of the most insane-looking men alive.
Well, that's why they cast Christian Bale. And after that, Bale is going to appear in Heat 2, it seems, which is a film that Michael Mann is currently developing.
I would say it's good casting.
He's going to be playing the Pacino role, I believe.
Yeah.
And DiCaprio is playing the Val Kilmer role, but apparently DiCaprio kind of has his pick of all the roles, and he hasn't decided yet who he wants to be.
I don't think that's fair.
No, it's not fair.
I actually think that's a bit ridiculous.
But I'll tell you why, because they can't get the budget without him. He has complete veto power on every element of that movie, because the only way it's getting made is if he's in it.
I don't know if it's getting made then.
Matt Damon's around.
Matt Damon's around.
Give it to him.
Matt Damon is too smart to go work with someone like Michael Mann, who has just
Well,
proven with Ferrari
he kind of
that
did.
he can't make a film. Yeah, he kind of did.
did.
He kind of did. And then Stephen Graham is apparently going to play the Robert De Niro part, which is like such a step down in star power from DiCaprio and Bale. It's kind of hilarious. Like,
That's the TV guy.
yeah, Stephen Graham is a television actor.
He is a television actor, but I think he's great.
He's very talented. I just don't know why Adolescence, which is like a fucking British government public service announcement of a show, has suddenly propelled him to a level where he's getting to play the Robert De Niro character from Heat. Like, he has not earned that. Like,
I know, he's also like the third lead of Venom.
Yeah. Third lead of Venom 2. Venom 2.
Venom 2, sorry.
But Stephen Graham was in Michael Mann's Public Enemies with Christian Bale almost 20 years ago.
Stephen Graham is also in Snatch, lest we forget.
The Irishman.
Yeah.
So he has worked
in
with
there?
all these guys.
Yeah, he's got pedigree.
He's worked with Scorsese. He's worked with Michael Mann. But any other Christian Bale performances you have a strong attachment to?
I say this as I just put a piece of brownie into my mouth, so apologies to the listeners. Obviously, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Dark Knight trilogy is a really good, surprising bit of casting. I feel like he's like a weird choice for Batman. And
He's doing a Matt Damon role.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. I just love the like. It caught me in the hop. Like that trilogy really caught me at the right time in my life because I was like into comic books when I was small.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Batman, loved them both. And then as a teenager, I got this
Yeah.
dark and edgy Batman, and it was like the perfect thing
The
for me.
small age difference between you and me is probably the difference between you getting to see The Dark Knight in the cinema and me not.
Yes, I did get
I got
to
to
see
see
the Dark Knight
the
in the
third
cinema.
one in the cinema, and as a result, I am maybe the only person in the world who thinks the third one is the best one by some distance.
I don't think it's the best one, but I think it gets unfairly maligned.
It's fucking amazing.
I think Tom Hardy's really good in it. I'm sorry.
Tom Hardy's amazing in it, and let it not be missed that the third one is the only one that features Aidan Gillen in an incredible performance.
You're a big guy.
You're a big guy, and
We do keep an active mental list of films that would be better if Bane showed up.
yeah, we do. We'll be watching a movie now, and there'll be some sort of like violent incident at a sports event or whatever, and we're like, better if Bane was there. It'd be really cool if Bane just walked out right now and was like, "Listen up, citizens."
That's an interesting subgenre of movie. I like
It
that.
is. But Christian Bale has an amazing place in the movie industry where he has been Batman. He is beloved. Patrick Bateman, people dress up as him for Halloween every year. He's in like cult classics like American Psycho, and is also like well respected, Oscar win and multiple Oscar nominations, and is in all these like prestige dramas. Like there's actually kind of no one else who's ticking all those boxes where he gets to be the biggest superhero franchise. It's also the superhero movies that people love the most, and he's also taken very seriously. So he can kind of do whatever he wants at any moment. And then
Robert Pattinson is probably sneaking up behind.
He's sneaking up behind
in that similar vein.
yeah, but it's kind of
his Batman was
just not.
It
sure.
wasn't.
I don't
it's
care
not
for
up to
it,
scratch.
It
at
wasn't
all.
up to snuff.
Not
but
at all.
No, I know what you mean. Like he is very much kind of
he's
nipping
Batman,
on the
and he's
heels.
well liked. But Robert Pattinson has never gotten an Oscar nomination. You know?
No.
Like, and he's way older now than Christian Bale was when he was getting his first kind of awards.
I think there's a third wind in Oscar Patterson. I was going to say Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
I think there's a third wind in him, and I do think
for sure.
I do think he's going to get that mid-career.
Yes.
There's going to be a real great movie in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
He's still young.
It's going to win him
looping
awards.
back into playing modern guy,
Which is good, yeah.
Which
Like
is
in the
good.
drama, he's wearing like a shirt and glasses, and I was like, oh, I've never seen him wear glasses in a movie. This is great.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson has replaced Christian Bale as Christopher Nolan's English guy of choice as well. He's in The Odyssey. He's in like 5 movies this year. He's in The Odyssey, he's in Dune, and he's in this thing
He's in the
about
drama already.
what? The drama, and then he's in Chris Hansen biopic Primetime about the guy who hosts To Catch
No
a Predator.
fucking way.
Yeah, and you know who else is in that movie making her acting
Matt
debut?
Damon?
Phoebe Bridgers.
Okay.
Is the female lead of that film, which I'm really excited for.
Interesting.
But Christian Bale got a Golden Globe nomination for Ford v Ferrari, which I think is well deserved.
I think I did. I wonder.
He's great.
Do we know who he was up against in the Oscars category
So
for best?
I'll tell you now.
Would he be considered best lead
They
or
were
support?
so I think they were both submitted as lead.
Okay.
Which is a mistake.
Yes.
Strategically means that you're kind of canceling yourselves out. I think that Damon should have maybe taken a bit of a one for the team here and gone in as supporting, because like that's just not a performance that was going to get an Oscar nomination. Whereas Bale is doing something really, really important in this movie.
Yeah, I
and
do think it's good.
Makes
and
it
like,
work.
I believe this. The whole thing about like Ford v Ferrari for me is like I believe it. You know, I believe the scrappy underdog nature of Christian Bale's character here. I believe that like the story is pretty much true to life.
Yeah,
with the exception of I think one of the years that they said he was like going to actually go to Le Mans, he was actually contracted by Chevrolet, I think, to race with them one year. So that's like you gotta just tidy up the plot a little bit for the screen. But aside from that, I believe like everything, his personal life, like he did fight in World War II.
Yeah.
Then emigrated to America after the war. Had that kind of failed mechanic career, but he was always driving. He was quite successful in those like kind of small racing categories. Then he got his shot, and then like again he had a Formula One start, which is like no mean feat, especially back then when it was really seen as the pinnacle of motorsport. And he raced in like tons of different series. Won Le Mans again. This is really, like, again, it's really great to see that development of the character as
Yeah.
well. And then I just the battle between him and the suits.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's great, and it's very satisfying to watch that type of guy go up against American capitalists. We must shout out your man, Josh.
Josh Brolin.
Josh in this movie.
Josh Brolin, though, by the way, did show up in this. Or sorry, John Bernthal. John
Bernthal.
Those
Yes.
two are completely interchangeable for me.
That's funny.
We'll
Okay.
we'll talk about him in a minute as Lee Iacocca. Crazy, by the way.
He's gonna talk about him now. Vice President of Ford.
Yeah, so he was the kind of VP of marketing or
Yeah.
whatever, and Lee Iacocca obviously is an incredibly accomplished author since this, but he's kind of, he's the guy that essentially drums up this idea where we can buy Ferrari because they're broke as fuck, right? Like they're going under. Let's buy them. This is the racing team. Like, these guys just won Le Mans last year. Everybody loves these guys. They're a global brand. So let's go in and buy them. And then we get the amazing scenes of the negotiation, which I love a bit of that. I love give me a merger negotiation in a film at any given time. Love it. Like, it's so good. And he in the end, it seems that now, and this, I don't know if it's true or not, but what did happen was Fiat did buy Ferrari, and I believe that they don't have the ownership now. I believe actually Ferrari is a publicly owned company, at least in the majority or small minority.
Yeah.
But Fiat bought it at the time. Fiat, obviously an Italian company buying another Italian brand, that's obviously more preferable. For Ferrari, I imagine they used Ford to drum up the price.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, to get the price up.
There you go.
So they didn't have to sell to the Americans. I don't think that they ever would have, but there were negotiations. That is true.
Very good. Okay. Then Leo Beebe is the other suit in this. He's played by Josh Lucas, who I don't really know that well. I thought he was great in this as the slimy guy.
I see him on a lot of things, yeah.
He is in a lot.
And I'm
He's in
always
a lot of
like,
stuff.
who's that?
Yeah, he gets locked in the room by
Just random mechanic.
but at Damon's request,
Yeah.
gets locked in the room and is banging on the door. Let me out, because he wants
This
to
is
go.
while Tracy Letts is in the car.
Yeah,
being
he wants to
driven
go tell Tracy Letts to get out of the car. He's really, really good and really slimy in this.
Sorry, the other scene I just remember that I did enjoy is Matt Damon on the airplane going like, oh, hey, can I land it?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, are you sure? It's like, oh, yeah, I flew planes during the war. And they're like, all right, go on.
Yeah, it's just like riding a bike. It's so good when you get to out the plane and like everyone's like, what the fuck happened? It's a real rough landing. We should say as well, the Matt Damon character, I don't think is quite two-dimensional. I think that might be a little bit unfair.
Sure.
Because we do get a bit of exposition at the start where he had won Le Mans the previous year.
Yeah.
So Carroll Shelby had won Le Mans as a driver the previous year with Aston Martin. This is true. This is a fact. And then retired because he has a heart condition. So he's not able to do it anymore. He's not able to. And I do think that scene, like, we see across a lot of aspects in this film of like Carroll Shelby trying to get his kicks that he can't get on the track, and he's really trying to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
He's really trying to do. Like, I think he's starting arguments with Christian Bale throughout this film.
Yeah.
I do think that the two of them are very
There's
argumentative.
a scene where
but I
they
think
wrestle out on the lawn.
it's amazing. But I do think that's, again, Carroll Shelby
And
trying to get
Katrina
his
Balfe
kicks.
is like, would you like some tea, Ken?
These are ultimately two guys that are probably a little bit disappointed the war is over.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
They
Yeah.
fit well into those roles.
Yeah, definitely. Like, no sense of danger. Like,
Yeah.
no
No, not at all.
sense of kind of
But
self-preservation.
it speaks well of Matt Damon as a star that he's willing to go into the uncool part in the movie where he doesn't get to look like the hero in the fast car. And I wonder when
I think that's probably a consistent
of his career. It's like being in
element of his career.
Oppenheimer, where he's just the kind of
Yeah,
angry
yeah.
guy to the side. But
Yeah.
you wonder, when Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise were trying to make this, could neither of them just were willing to do that?
Probably
like
not,
they were trying to probably manufacture cool moments. If Brad Pitt was playing that role, he would not want to not have scenes where he's in a car looking cool.
No, absolutely not. And I do think like there's just an element of too many cooks there, because like I'm in my reading, I believe Joe Kosinski was originally the original
Yes.
director of this,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
had
yeah.
like got the script, because this is based on a book.
Yeah.
So it had gotten the script and was down to direct this
Yeah.
and was penned in to direct it, and then you have Joe Kosinski, Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
obviously a match made in heaven. With,
I mean,
with
he's just
with the Top Gun franchise.
Kaczynski is one of the guys Tom Cruise is able to puppet to make him look cool in movies.
and vice versa. I
Yeah,
also think.
yeah.
But then you bring Brad Pitt into the mix, and he's kind of like obviously these people are megastars.
Yeah.
There's no way one of them is going to capitulate to the other, really.
Yeah, no.
And then like Joe Kosinski's trying to fucking fight with that, as well as budget
Yeah.
constraints, which in the end are the reported reason. that
Whereas
this
I think
fall fell through.
Damon, Bale, and the eventual director James Mangold, are three very diplomatic individuals. Like Bale is an angry guy who screams at people on sets and stuff, but it seems like these are three guys who are actually not going to let their personal ego overshadow a project and destroy it.
And I think that's like why the casting
why this
here,
works. Like,
the casting is so good. I think they're like so like I understand why they were submitted for co-lead.
Yeah.
Because I do think they're both.
It's
they
a co-lead
both warrant
movie
lead
for sure. Yeah,
performances.
and they're both leading men, but
Yeah.
I do think the movie lends itself to Ken Miles's life story more than the other.
Do we have the split diagonal card?
No, I don't. That's a good question.
Or is it just Damon first?
I think it's just Damon first.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
But
But Damon is a slightly bigger star, I suppose. James Mangold, who directed this, has made two of your favorite subgenre, Adam, music biopics.
Music
Can you tell me
biopics.
the two music biopics he's done?
I don't know.
The two big ones. He
I
did.
assume can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Is one of them the horrible Bohemian Rhapsody movie?
No,
that you didn't take that over.
No,
Okay,
the Horrible Bohemian Rhapsody movie was taken over by Dexter Fletcher, who then went on to do Rocket Man,
but Rocket Man is significantly
which is good.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's a good director. He just was dumped with a bunch of crappy footage for Bohemian Rhapsody.
So James Mangold.
The two that Mangold has done are Walk the Line, 2005, Johnny
Great
Cash,
movie, great
and
movie.
then Complete Unknown, 2024. Bob Dylan, which I
haven't seen that.
I did not like.
I haven't
and
seen
the
it.
funny thing about Complete Unknown is that Johnny Cash actually shows up in it, played by Mr. Man, who's in all of these fucking Mangold movies. Boyd Holbrook, and you're like, that's not Joaquin Phoenix, that's Boyd Holbrook. James Mangold's other credits include two Wolverine movies, The Wolverine and Logan. I like The Wolverine more than Logan personally.
Logan obviously is the one I think that stands
Logan's
on its own in the popular culture.
the cool
yeah.
Western, but I don't like Logan. I think
Again, dark superhero
Yeah.
movie caught me at a really good time in my life.
The Wolverine I really like because it's set in Japan and there's like samurai shit. I like it. He did the Tom Cruise movie Night and Day with Cameron Diaz, which we will discuss on the
he
show
made that.
someday.
I feel like Dave likes that movie.
I like that movie. Well, it has a problem where every 5 minutes Cameron Diaz gets knocked unconscious so that he can bring her to a new location. So the whole movie is just her like blinking and being in a new place. Anyway, we'll do an episode on it someday. He directed Christian Bale in the Western 3:10 to Yuma with Russell Crowe, and he directed the 5th Indiana Jones movie, The Dial of Destiny, which sucks.
Terrible.
But the one thing I like about him is that he always works with the composer Marco Beltrami, who did this score, and he's really talented, and he's a really
Sublime.
underrated composer. And this is such a good
It's
score.
a sublime
It's
score.
really good.
It's so good.
Yes, we all like the F1 score that Hans Zimmer did. It's very, very good. It's got powerful stuff. I couldn't get the fucking...
That Hans Zimmer,
I couldn't-
quote unquote, did.
I
you know?
did. I had to use the Hans Zimmer music on the Instagram story announcing this episode because they don't put the Marco Beltrami music on Instagram. But the score in this movie is great, and in some of the racing scenes, I think it does a lot of heavy lifting to
It's so
give it
good.
a charge.
It's really good, and especially like there's a particular very poignant moment when Ken Miles and his son are sitting on the runway, and
Yes.
it's like the it's the thing of this movie that I guess is like, I suppose, the screen cap or whatever you might see. It's like Out There Somewhere is the perfect lap, and he kind of talks about that, and that's like, it's so delicate underneath that. And it's just amazing.
It's great, yeah.
It again doesn't insist upon itself. When it gets to the point of it being, when it the crescendo kind of comes up a little bit in the score, it's beautiful. Like, I love the pairing of the two things here.
Excellent.
It doesn't feel as hammy as F1. Like, F1 is so ham-fisted in every way, shape, and form. But this, to me, feels like a film. No,
I agree. Noah Jupe, who plays Ken's son, is the guy from Hamnet, who shows up at the end as Hamlet in the play, and is the older brother of the kid who plays Hamnet, the kid who dies in Hamnet. A lot of spoilers there. He also played
spoilers of Hamlet.
Hamnet,
I suppose. Yeah.
Noah Jupe, fun fact, also played Matt Damon's son in the movie Suburbicon 2 years before this. So
Okay.
he has
weird.
played
Nepo
Damon
baby.
and Bale's kids, exactly. I'm going to rattle off a couple other movies about fast cars and motor racing.
Yes.
I want you to tell me your thoughts on a few of these.
Okay.
The 2006 Pixar animated film Cars and its sequels.
Can I shock you?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a
Haven't
single
seen-
one.
You're better off.
I know. I'm really looking forward to spending a day when I'm like unwell,
Watching all three of them.
all of them in a row.
I think the third one is probably the one that most resembles F1, this type of stuff.
Fun fact: in all the different languages, they have Formula One drivers who speak those native languages voicing some of the characters.
That makes sense.
Which is really fun.
That's like how they love doing this with animated films. I went to see Toy Story 5 on Saturday. There's a scene where Capital FM DJ Jordan North voices a garden gnome, and in the US it's some other it's Ryan Seacrest or something. And I was like, that's stupid, that's annoying. And at least give the Irish audience an Irish don't give us some Capital FM DJ.
Joe Duffy.
Give us Joe Duffy.
We want Joe Duffy. We want Adrian Kennedy, the phone show version.
The people yearn for Culm Hayes in Toy Story 5. Cars trilogy sucks. First one's boring as hell. It's like 2 hours long for no reason. Rush, you had suggested as an episode of the show.
Well, actually, we kind of let's pull the curtain back a little bit here. So we'd spoken about this, but it's a fun movie, but it's not a good movie.
I didn't like it when I saw it. I think it did not successfully engage me as a person who finds the racing stuff boring.
I will say Daniel Bruhl as Niki Lauda.
He's very good.
He's fucking incredible, and he went full method. By the way, he spent a long time with Niki Lauda to make sure he got that performance right. Now, Niki Lauda is unfortunately, he passed away in 2019, I think.
Okay, right.
Maybe 2020, but he passed away recently. An incredibly accomplished racing driver, also is kind of responsible for one of the most successful Formula One teams in the current paddock in Mercedes. So he was very involved in setting that up. But great, amazing. Even down to the accent is incredible. It's really good. I do think that Chris Hemsworth in this movie is absolutely terrible.
Right.
You're talking to a man who likes the Extraction franchise.
Yeah, I like Chris Hemsworth as an actor. I think he can be really good.
I think Dark Hemsworth is where he needs to be. That's my
Do you see
cents.
Furiosa?
I haven't.
Oh, he's so good in that. He's playing this crazy villain with fake nose, and he's up on these big rigs screaming at people. He's great.
Yeah, that's more my speed.
Have you seen Gran Turismo from Gamer to Racer?
I have.
Any good?
It again based on a true story.
Yeah. I think the name of the movie, the poster was based on a true story.
What?
Yeah.
Gran Turismo, but let a video game guy drive a real car.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. But it was a competition that they ran in Japan, and basically it was whoever won the fucking esports World Series or whatever was able to go and drive the car. And now he that guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but whoever the driver was, he's still doing. He's still doing racing stuff.
Right, okay.
Now he's I didn't love it. I thought Orlando Bloom is insufferable, and anytime I see David Harbour, I get jump scared.
David Harbour walked past my friend in Dublin about 2 months ago, and he was on the phone saying, "And that was around the time I had my breakdown." So that's a fun fact for you. I think I texted Dave when I heard about it.
That's fucking brilliant.
He might see him. What about Need for Speed?
Need for Speed.
That's years ago with Aaron Paul.
Yeah, that's Aaron Paul. I remember watching it. I don't remember it leaving any lasting impact.
I watched about half of it and turned it off.
To the point where I remember that someone dies early doors, and that's it.
There you go. Yeah. Have you seen the movie Speed Racer? Which
I haven't.
Is set in a future utopia where everything is about fast car racing.
Right, here's the thing. Another thing about me. I can't fucking deal with fantasy shit.
Okay.
I can't anything that's super futuristic, even when it comes to video games, and I just all that cyberpunk
fair
bullshit, Final Fantasy. I'm not into it.
Speed Racer
miss
has
me with that
crazy Super Mario shit where people are racing through rainbow vortexes and stuff. It's insane.
As long as I live, I will never watch that film.
Brand. Okay, Logan Lucky. You seen that?
No, I haven't.
This is Channing Tatum, Daniel Craig, Adam Driver. It's
That's
it's
a racing movie.
It is NASCAR heist movie. That's set in a
it's
NASCAR race.
It's a heist at a NASCAR race.
But there's a lot of NASCAR stuff in it. There's a car on the
I like
poster.
what I'm hearing,
none of the
guys.
characters
I think
are
you'd like
drivers.
I don't mind about the balance.
I think you'd like it. Talladega Nights.
Yeah, love
It's like calling The Dark Knight Rises a football movie.
Yeah, it is. Thanks to our friend of the show, Bane, it is a football movie.
Okay.
I've never actually seen all of Talladega Nights.
That's great. It's so much fun.
It's not. Did Adam McKay make Talladega Nights?
Yeah, he made all of those comedy.
He did.
movies.
Yeah. Okay, I should probably
Every
give another
comedy
chance.
movie from 2004 to 2015. I'd say.
Sure. There's a movie called Turbo about a snail who starts motor racing.
That's a Pixar one, if I'm not mistaken. Is it not?
No. It's like Doggy Dog Shit Studios.
No.
Ryan Reynolds and Paul Giamatti provide the voices. Turbo.
No.
And then for me, the goat of fast car movies is the Fast and Furious franchise. It's not F1. It's not NASCAR. It's just kind of like street racing.
But I don't think you like the earlier ones, as far as I'm aware.
I haven't seen the first one.
Okay.
Second one's pretty bad.
It kind of gets out of racing.
and then it
by,
becomes like
the
a
fourth one.
superhero franchise where
Yeah.
they just like they like drive cars out of planes and out of buildings, and I think that it's class.
There is like I mean, Jesus, I was hooked on it when I was younger. Like I had a big thing in like my pre-teens and early teens for modified cars, and I love that shit. It was so good. But for me, when they started jumping the shark, like Tokyo Drift, I'm out. I'm done.
Okay.
That's after that I'm good. Tokyo Drift, I think, is probably one of the best ones.
There's really strong stuff in the later ones.
The early ones are good.
The later ones, they're not fast car movies per se, but there's great stuff with like John Cena and Jason Statham have to save a baby on a plane that's about to crash. Like, they're very expensive, silly, crazy big action movies that are really
dumb,
fun.
stupid action movies.
I think they're good, dumb, stupid action movies for dumb, stupid people like me,
and me. Hey, I'm not above it. There are other motor racing films.
Yes.
There's one called, if I remember right, is it just called Lancia? Maybe it's it's a rally movie again. A bit, it's just fucking terrible. Like it's so bad, and I had such high hopes for it because it was like I just didn't have like this cast that I thought was there was no superstars in it. The budget wasn't very high, which I mean, you know, with something like this you probably kind of want a high budget just for like all the for the actual action scene, but it was so sludgy and so slow. I just did not like it. If we're talking about, like, I know we're here to talk about films more so, but there are like two amazing documentaries that I think just like I have to mention.
One of them Senna?
One of them is Senna, which is directed by or produced by James Gay Reese, I think is his name, and he is the mastermind behind Drive to Survive.
There you go.
And
it's directed by the great documentary filmmaker Asif Kapadia as well.
Oh, sorry, yes. But anyway, James Gay Reese is definitely involved at some point, and he, like I say, is kind of the grandfather of the modern culture of sports documentary series. So he's like in charge of all those Netflix ones that we've all heard of and scrolled past, and some of us have watched. But there's another one as well and it's a Netflix made one. And your apprehensions might come with that sentence alone. But this is genuinely one of the most amazing documentaries I've ever seen, and it's Schumacher.
Okay.
It's about Michael Schumacher's life.
Yeah.
It's post-accident.
Okay.
And it like has interviews with everybody. The access is crazy.
Wow, okay.
I thought they kept everything about him pretty under wraps.
They did.
The
family are actually in this.
Okay.
But they don't talk about what happened after the accident. So for those who don't know, in 2013, Michael Schumacher had just retired from Formula One. He was skiing in a resort in France called Maribel, and he went off-piste with his son Mick, who was eventually in Formula One, and they went off-piste. Michael Schumacher fell, hit his head on a rock, and was in a coma for like, I'd say it was probably a year or more, like a very long time. Yeah. And this was like a massive, massive, massive shock because he'd literally just retired. Yeah. And you know, there was expectations that maybe he might go and run Ferrari someday, or like he might go back and do what Niki Lauda did and set up his own team, or like going as a consultant or whatever, and even coaching Mick to, you know, Formula One success would have been fucking amazing. But it's his condition is believed to be stable. I believe he's non-verbal. There's reports that he's paraplegic as well, and like requires 24-hour care. He's had like a lot of treatment.
It's amazing they've been able to maintain such privacy on such a famous person.
It's kind of nuts. And there was like a thing, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a thing, maybe it was like a year and a half or 2 years ago, might even be more, where a German publication, or maybe it was a Swiss publication, because that's where they live. I believe they live in Switzerland. Posted the first Michael Schumacher interview.
Right.
Like they published the first Michael Schumacher interview. It was entirely, his responses were entirely generated by AI.
Oh, right. What? Jesus.
And and the family sued the company. And they won. Yeah. And got an injunction on the article, so the article is just completely booked. It doesn't exist anymore.
Insane nonsense.
Has he even photographed in the last
since his accident? No.
No one has seen.
So it's been 13 years.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's mad.
His daughter got married last year, and I believe he attended the wedding, but there's no photographs.
Fair. We should take their template for keeping photographers away. I think use it for everyone.
I think it's incredible, but like he is one of the biggest sports stars to ever exist.
Maybe it helps that he lives in a country where people
privacy laws are really strong.
Privacy laws and people are slightly more respectful, I guess.
I guess everyone in Switzerland is probably pretty rich, and they're like, yeah, we agree. We don't want people
probably.
We won't bother you. No, but it's genuinely great if you're into. Even if you're not into, like, if you're in any way curious about personalities.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
matter about sport or non-sport. Like
Yeah.
that is one of the best documentaries I've ever
Very
seen.
good. It's worth mentioning that the producers of F1, including Brad Pitt, are currently producing a movie about the Isle of Man TT motor bike race being shot in Ireland, starring Channing Tatum, Eve Hewson, Aina Hardwick, Ciarán Hinds, and it's set on the Isle of Man, being filmed in Wicklow right now.
That's hilarious. The Isle of Man is right there.
And produced by Brad Pitt. The Isle of Man, I think, is no longer viable to shoot films on for financial reasons.
They do not offer the tax credits anymore.
They used to. The movie Stormbreaker was entirely funded by Isle of Man tax credits, but no, they don't anymore.
I have no interest in that.
Yeah, okay.
Are they going to start dropping Isle of Man drivers in there like
I think it's
cameos?
I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun.
I like the actors.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's.
Is
got people-
Kaczynski involved again?
No. It's being directed by.
I'm defo out.
It's being directed by Channing Tatum's like best friend, producing partner, who's never directed a movie before.
Okay.
In 1971, there was a movie called Le Mans with Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen, yeah.
Filmed during the real race, but they had Steve McQueen playing a fictional Porsche driver called Michael Delaney. One of many fast car movies that Steve McQueen made. I haven't seen it, but there you go.
Have we heard of the famous Formula One movie that Sylvester Stallone had on the
We
books?
literally talked about him last week on the show. I
Yeah.
don't know what you're referring
So
to.
so basically, Sylvester Stallone, like there was this whole thing where he was going to be a Formula, like it didn't get made. It got made in a different form, but he was in talks with Ferrari. It was all agreed that he would become a Ferrari F1 driver, and this would be a movie that they made. It's post Rocky, if I remember correctly. So he did have the cachet there as like the sports movie star.
Okay.
And yeah, it ended up getting absolutely shit canned for reasons I'm not quite sure of.
Interesting.
But it never got made, whether it was a case of like whatever way the direction the script was going, because Stallone was writing the script as well. That Ferrari didn't like it, or the studio didn't like it, but yeah, it was completely pulled.
Again,
it doesn't exist.
He's someone with too big of an ego to be working with these companies. And
I'd
brands.
loved to have
It's
seen
a
it.
balancing act. Yeah.
Like in hindsight, I would have loved to have seen what happened.
interesting.
But anyway, that's just a
good.
little fun fact.
Last thing before we go, I wanted to circle back to who got nominated for Best Actor at the Oscars this year. So Ford v Ferrari got a Best Picture nomination, Best Sound. It won sound and one editing.
Doesn't surprise me.
Which is deserved. Yeah, one editing that year. We've done 3 of the Best Picture nominees that year on the show.
Okay.
And 4. Now we've done 4. But we've also done 3 of the Best Actor nominees.
Okay.
We've talked about 3 of those movies on episodes of this show, so I want you to tell me who those are. This is the films of 2019.
2019, yeah.
2019.
I'll start by telling
Is
you
this the Revenant year? No.
No,
Way
okay,
later.
so you're way off. So
Wait,
I'm
sorry,
going
wait,
to start.
wait,
The winner of Best Actor this year is Joaquin Phoenix in Joker.
Oh, okay.
3 of the losers, we've done episodes about those movies. And I'll tell you, the other Best Picture nominated film we've done is Little Women. So just think about that year. There's 3 other Best Actor nominees we've done. Do you have any sense of 2019? This is the year that Adam Sandler did not get a nomination for Uncut Gems.
That's crazy.
which is
by the way.
crazy. But there's another Adam nominated for a great performance. Driver
In
Marriage Story,
Story.
who should have won, in my opinion.
Okay.
And then the first episode we ever did,
Oh, Once Upon a Time.
DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
All the Heat 2 boys are in here, by the
Heat
way.
2 boys, yeah.
And
A good year, if you ask me.
And then this is a weird one, is an old English guy in a movie we just did because something happened in the news. Yes, it's Jonathan Pryce as Pope Francis in The Two Popes.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Good nomination and good performance.
Jonathan Pryce only exists to me in The World Is Not Enough. Like that's the only
and
thing.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
It is hilarious that he got in and Adam Sandler didn't. Like, it's funny there was enough goodwill for him in that film where he's like just doing Pope Francis-y bits. Like, I believe in the Christ, I believe in the doctrine. That's all that film
What
is.
a
And then
snooze.
And then the 5th nominee is actually a really good nominee, which is Antonio Banderas in Almodovar's Pain and Glory, which is great. Sure. And his only nomination. So that was a good 5. I probably actually wouldn't put Bale in my 5 just because it's such a strong year. But if
Who would you lose?
So I'm losing Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
And
Well, I mean, fucking.
I'm losing Jonathan Pryce.
Yeah.
I'm putting in Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems, and if you give me just 10 more seconds, I'll tell you who my 5th would
You
be.
have this
because I
documented
keep
already.
a spreadsheet, Adam, of my picks for the Oscars every year going back
Amazing.
to the 80s and 90s.
This is a level of organization I know not.
I know. My other Best Actor for 2019, of course, Google Drive being really slow, is of course Sorry, it normally is really fast. Ray Romano in Paddleton. Yeah, and sorry, these are my 5.
Obviously.
The 5 I have on here is Sandler, Driver, Ray Romano, Paddleton, Daniel Craig in Knives Out, and Tom Burke in The Souvenir.
Daniel Craig and Knives Out. I'm a fan of Daniel Craig, and I think that's a real maverick pick there.
Sorry, I'm losing DiCaprio as well. I don't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, you don't.
No, so
Dave, skip past that, please.
So there's space. There's space for all
I know
those
you're
guys.
listening.
Sure.
You know what? I'm gonna take out Ray Romano and Paddleton, and I'm gonna put in Antonio Banderas or Christian Bale.
Do you not
Depending on my
remember Paddleton fondly?
No, I think when I watched it, I was very moved by it. But in hindsight, Paddleton's pretty good. Yeah. It's about guys playing paddle while one of them's dying of cancer. It's good. I think that's all. I think that's it. Thank you so much, Adam.
Not at all.
Where can people find your work?
You can find me on Instagram is kind of my main place online. So at Adam Shanahan Audio, you can see some of my work on adamshanahanaudio.com, and you can hear me every Friday and every second Monday.
Yes.
On No Encore. At the No Encore Patreon. You can follow us on Instagram at No Encore Show. Search No Encore wherever you get your podcasts. Myself and former guest of this show, and I'm sure future guest as well, Dave Hanratty.
You will have all heard Dave on our Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and Triple Frontier episodes.
The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, by the way, I believe is the longest episode you've ever done.
Yeah, it's an hour 45.
Yeah.
It's also the episode that generated the most hate comments that we've ever gotten, which is fantastic.
Yeah, people got real mad on us on
Dave
Reels.
called the Millennium Trilogy trash novels.
Yeah, Dave said trash fiction, and people said they're not trash. They're my favorite books ever.
Yeah.
Well, I won't be making such comments.
No, you've said
No, too. We need the engagement.
Yeah, we're going to find the most controversial thing you said, and we're going to click farm it with
Say something is like something that is just not.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now in a way that I can relate it in motorsport, but I don't think there's anything I can quite manage
That's
there.
okay.
But it's great to be here. You can,
you so
like I
much.
say, you can find us in those places.
Yes.
If you are so inclined, you can sign up to the No Encore Patreon.
Definitely do.
At patreon.com.
And hey,
/No
we
Encore.
don't have a Patreon, so spend the money that you would spend on a Boy Party Patreon on the No Encore Patreon.
And you'll hear Lucian talk about Mrs. Doubtfire and what is one
exactly.
of the funniest bonus episodes we've ever done.
God, I'm glad of that. Yeah, the one you recorded immediately beforehand with Richard Chambers talking about Training Day had set everybody up
fucking
for
insane.
Set everybody up for success there. So, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Shane. We'll be back next week for more partying. See you soon. Vroom vroom. Goodbye.